There are common myths about emotions that are untrue and unproductive. If you experience overwhelming emotions, it can be particularly useful to discard these myths so that they won't get in the way of you building healthy relationships with your emotions. Myths about emotions. First, we will look at 8 common myths. Then, you will try to identify how much you believe in each of these myths. In the last step, we will work on becoming mindful of how these myths affect you and what would be different if you discarded them. Let's start. Step 1. Myths about emotions. Myth number 1. I should never let others know how I feel because they will think I am weak. Opposing view. Just because I express how I feel in a certain situation, it doesn't mean that I am weak. Emotions are part of how we react to the events around us and inside us, and it is totally normal to let others know how I feel. Myth number 2. Emotions are stupid and useless. Opposing view. Emotions are the fastest way to discover what our attitude is towards a certain situation. We are programmed to feel emotions, and they are there for a reason. They can be very helpful in certain situations. If I happen to feel overwhelming emotions about something, I can learn skills to cope with them in the most optimal way possible. Myth number 3. If I feel something, then it must be true. Opposing view. Sometimes our emotions keep on lingering and growing inside us, even after the time where they serve their purpose. Even though sometimes the way we feel can show us the right decision we should make, when we are acting from our wise mind as well, they are not always true. For example, feeling worthless or like everybody is against us doesn't mean it's true. Myth number 4. If I feel like doing something, then that must be the right decision for me. Opposing view. Sometimes we experience overwhelming emotions that can result in us acting in ways that are not optimal for us. This doesn't mean that having these emotions is wrong, but that we can learn ways to cope that can improve our overall experience. Myth number 5. I shouldn't try to change the way I feel because that is inauthentic. Opposing view. Although we shouldn't try to willfully oppose the negative emotions we feel, accepting them can bring a natural change and can transform the primary emotion into something else. Working on our overwhelming or persistently negative emotions can improve the quality of our behaviors and life in general. Myth number 6. I should feel like everybody else is feeling in the same situation. Opposing view. We can never really know how everybody feels in a certain situation because they may not always show it. It is normal for different people to have different emotional reactions. It is not helpful to forcefully try to feel how we imagine the others feel in the same situation or to criticize ourselves when we don't meet this imaginary standard. Myth number 7. Life is boring without drama and extreme emotions. Opposing view. Being open to all the different emotions we might be feeling can enrich our inner psychological life. But acting on acute impulses that result from intense emotions can lead to destructive behavioral consequences that are not good for us in the long run. There are other healthier ways to enrich our life experience beside trying to get into drama. Myth number 8. When I am impulsive and when I act on my intense emotions, I get more things done. Opposing view. Being respectfully assertive with other people and trying to be as proactive as we can is a great way to get things done. On the other hand, acting on our raw impulses can lead to damaged relationships and other forms of turmoil that can be harmful for leading a balanced life. Step 2. Identifying the level of belief in the myths. Now that you've become familiarized with some of the most common myths about emotions, try to identify how strongly you believe each of them. In this step, take the worksheet and rate the level of your belief in these myths on a scale of 1 to 5. Step 3. How they affect you. Look at the top 3 myths that you rated the highest. Take your time and think about how these beliefs affect you. What is the result? In what way do you behave because of them? Lastly, try to imagine in what ways your life would be different if you acted according to the opposing views. Write your answers in the worksheet. Good job! Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next video.